Well, my house is currently flooding. I called the emergency. They said they're gonna be on their way, but I don't know how many people are probably already calling them.
And I had to explain to him something that had to be explained to me, even as a rescuer. When I watched the National Guard and they confirmed that the smells I had been smelling were most likely bodies, I was like, well, where are they so I can get to them? You can't get to them. They're crushed in debris. They're up in trees. They're under sediment. They're under sand. Unfortunately, it will be a very long time before you find all these people.
Mala, how them people supposed to apply for them benefits and apply for that $750 if they ain't got no internet? Kamala, they lost everything. Their houses is gone. Their cars is gone. Their jobs is gone. The buildings ain't there no more. These people in Chimney Rock, North Carolina have lost literally everything. And Kamala get up there talking about they can apply for $750 ain't nothing but 4 bags of groceries and a haircut. That ain't nothing but 4 bags of groceries and a haircut. That's what $750 will get you today in this doggone economy. I don't even mean to be talking long like this. I really don't. But it needs to be said. This is shameful and it's embarrassing.
Hurricane Helene's path and behavior just the result of natural processes and climate patterns, or was it manipulated? The circular blue flashes seen in this video are frequency transmissions from the NexRad network of transmitter installations. All available science evidence makes clear that atmospheric frequency transmissions can and do have a repelling effect on air masses, especially if and when the air masses have been seeded with electrically conductive nanoparticles.
What are they planning? So I started looking through like pages and pages of patents on weather modification. I know people argue, they're like, just because there's a patent doesn't mean it's being used. I get that. But we know, I mean, most of the Vietnam War was research on weather modification. We know technology exists. But my question is that if they want to say like, oh, we don't do that, but the technology exists, then there's also technology to weaken these hurricanes. Why aren't they even attempting to do that?
Well, that is exactly the good point. And if, you know, these are not natural. Like somebody said, I've lived in Florida all my life, over 50 years. I have never seen a storm come from that direction of this magnitude. So
researchers are looking at how to change the weather on purpose. That's right. Lasers now could one day manipulate rain and lightning. CBS This Morning contributor Michio Kaku is a physics professor at City College of New York. Professor, nice to see you. I mean, lasers really to change the weather?
That's right. Well, as Mark Twain once famously said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it.
Hi everyone, I hope everyone is safe and well wherever you are. This is definitely going to be a more somber video of mine. I have just watched so much clips from the past hurricanes from the past 2 weeks and just the devastation. It's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. This is my second time recording this video. I think the first time I really didn't set the tone of how devastating just everything that these beautiful, wonderful people, animals, their businesses, their houses, their lives, their towns have been completely destroyed, affected. It's absolutely devastating, and you know, my heart absolutely goes out to anyone that was affected. And this is a very, very serious topic, and it's a lot. You know, the videos that I see are absolutely heartbreaking, and I've been in tears for nights and nights just taking in all this information and hearing these beautiful people's stories and the lives lost. It's a lot to take in, and I can't even imagine being in their shoes and seeing your child and parents being swept away from the floods and the storm surges, it's beyond anything. It's beyond words. It really is. And it's enraging to see our government's response to this, and I should say the lack of. It's absolutely enraging. It pisses me the fuck off, to be honest. I can't even believe what's going on, the last couple weeks. And what happened in North Carolina is eerily similar to what happened in Maui in a different form. And we all remember what happened in Maui. I think that there's definitely a lot of, in my opinion, sketchiness going on with these disasters. And I think it's time that people fucking wake up to it. Because honestly, in my opinion, it's just going to keep on happening. And there's a reason. And it's dark. And it's fucked up. And what do you think it is? We've talked a lot about on this channel about the globalists and their agendas. But people really don't realize the power that they truly have. They really can't even comprehend how dark and twisted these people are and the power they have. And I want to get into these past 2 hurricanes that hit Florida and North Carolina. Tennessee was affected. A lot of places were affected, and devastation. Okay? It really makes me wonder if foul play was at hand in these events. And you may ask, how? How is that possible? Well, quite possibly weather manipulation. People like to deny that exists. In my opinion, you'd be a fool to think that doesn't exist. There are so many things beyond the average person's comprehension that exists, and that they use on us all the time, in my opinion, allegedly. I want to get into patents that exist and technology that exists, allegedly in my opinion, that can manipulate weather, create storms. They even have, allegedly, I have to say allegedly, technology that can decrease a storm, but that wouldn't help them out with it. And I was listening to a podcast on Rumble of these 2 women talking, very knowledgeable women, and they were talking about how these patents exist and how this technology was used in the Vietnam WAR years ago. And there's been clips circulating around the internet of newscasts from like 7 years ago talking about this very thing and how they're bringing on experts that deal with this kind of technology and this weather manipulation, lasers, even, like all this crazy shit. And this is on national television and they're talking about it. And they want to call everyone talking about this crazy. No. We're not fucking crazy, bitch. We're awake to the bullshit. Okay? And we saw what happened in Dubai with the cloud seeding. The horrible flood that happened because they fucked around and found out. And what they did to their people. We already saw it happen. And that's just cloud seeding. This is another fucking level. And just researching and just hearing a lot about other disasters that have occurred in America and some sketchiness around them. It's insane. It's really insane. Now, you may ask, why are they doing this? What would be their motive? Well, let's start with Maui. In Maui, they had a bunch of land that were occupied by residents that had been there for years and didn't want to sell their land. They offered them money for years to buy them out and have them move out, and so they can have control of that land, and the people refused. Next thing you know, there's a huge fire that completely destroys an entire town. And we saw what happened after that, and the response, or the lack thereof, and the really sketchiness that went on. Unforgivable, unacceptable, disgusting. They wanted something from that land, and they don't care what happens to get it. Now, what did they want in North Carolina? Allegedly. Well, in North Carolina, where this happened, there is a huge resource of lithium. And this big ass company that has BlackRock associated with it has huge amounts of shares into this company, wanted this land to mine for lithium. And apparently this land has like billions of dollars of lithium in it. And the townspeople of this area didn't want them to mine for lithium in it. They said no. And 3 days, I believe, before the floods happened, this company put into place that they're going to mine there. And I believe that if an area is devastated by a disaster, the property value goes down because it's completely like it's land that was destroyed. So I believe the property value goes down, so that helps them out even more. But more importantly, we have towns wiped out now, and this company's just gonna go and mine for lithium now. There's no one in their way or anyone that can stop them. And let's look at their response from our government. Disgustingly nothing. Offering them $750 per household. That I heard apparently is not even just giving them the money, it's a loan that they have to pay back. And allegedly, if they don't pay back, if they're unable to pay it back, then the government owns their property.
By the way, you heard that the $750 they were offering people that were displaced in this is not a gift. It's a loan. And if you don't repay it, now you've just lost your job and your house, maybe. If you don't repay it, we're going to take your land. That's the latest.
Yeah, this is eminent domain, like on steroids.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is probably all set by design, because they need the land. Another thing about that money is apparently you have to qualify for it. So I heard that if you have any savings of any kind, you are not qualified to get that. Another thing people are also talking about is how are people going to get that money? They don't even have internet access. They don't even have resources to have a check mailed in. Like, people are like, how the fuck are they even going to get that money? And $750? Is that a joke? That wouldn't pay for nothing. What, a couple runs to the grocery store? In this economy, yeah. It's not going to pay for rent. It's not going to pay for a mortgage. It's not going to pay for fucking anything. What the fuck is that going to do for you? Get you some food for the meantime when you have nothing left? What the fuck is that? And people are really fucking pissed off because the gov just keeps sending billions to other countries for various things. But when it comes to our people who really fucking need help and have just lost fucking everything, including loved ones, oh, they ran out of resources. Oh, they can just give us $750, maybe. Oh, and pay us back. That's disgusting. That's fucking disgusting. It's enraging. It's fucking enraging. And there are so many areas affected by that Hurricane Helene. And you want to know what I find really fucking interesting about it all? Is, at least from my experience, me like looking into the news and hearing things, there was way less coverage on Helene than Milton. Way less. And a lot of people are arguing that Helene had a lot more damage and a lot more loss. And you know what, in my opinion, I think that was by design too. Hurricane Milton comes around, media goes crazy, a media frenzy. All anyone is talking about. But experts are saying that the storm is pushing atmospheric possibilities. That sounds a little sketchy to me. What do you mean it's pushing the boundaries of like the atmosphere's limits? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? We had the mayor of one of the Florida towns affected saying if you don't evacuate, you're going to be unalived. Point blank, period. That's a really strong fucking statement. And when it finally hits them, it drops down to a category 3. Thank gosh. I mean, that's still bad. But you want to know what? These people are so fucking sick. They probably wanted that to hit at a Cat 5. And they're probably trying to make that happen. Alleged, in my opinion. But by the grace of God, it hit by a Cat 3. And there was still a lot of devastation from that. 19 tornadoes in all throughout Florida. 19. That is insane. That is insane. And in my opinion, that ain't natural. Something sketchy with that, for sure. To me, this don't add up. To me, this is sketchy. I smell something funny in the air. That's my opinion, allegedly. And, you know, I stayed up till like 3 a.m. my time, Los Angeles time, watching people's lives, the people who stayed behind in Tampa or around Tampa and various areas that were affected by Milton. And I saw the storm surge and the waters rising, hitting people's houses. And I was watching these like 3 buffoons but were hilarious. These 3 guys, they were really entertaining to watch, but I was really worried about them. I'm like, I know you're saying you're Florida boys and you got this covered and shit like that, but like, the water surrounding your house. But they're okay and they're chill. So like, they really meant it. They're Florida boys and they got that shit handled, but it was crazy to see. And I've never been in a hurricane like that, or at all. You know, Los Angeles, we had Hurricane Hillary last year or whatever. Just some fucking rain and wind. And you remember how they hyped up that shit too. I'm just like, nah, something ain't right here. Something ain't right, fam. This is sketch to me. And I don't know what they're trying to do with Florida, but something ain't fucking right here. Something ain't fucking right. And in my opinion, allegedly, FEMA ain't your friend. Stay far away as possible, if you can. And also what's happening is the Wyoming fires that has thousands and thousands of acres on fire. I'm like, what's that about? No one's talking about that. No one is talking about those fires. And you want to know what? It's kind of just like this. We see a disaster happen, but what really gets me and makes it sketchy to me is there's always an underlying reason. There's always sketchiness going on behind the scenes. And for people to want to ignore weather manipulation and HARP that really does exist, don't play yourselves. Wake the fuck up. And I have a bad feeling that there's a lot more in store for us in the next coming years, you know. Agenda 2030 if you want me to get more into this, I can post it on Rumble. Which I was contemplating making this on Rumble so I can really fucking say my piece and shit like that. But, you know, I'm going to post it on here for now and see what happens. See, I don't even know, like, what the fuck I can even say, honestly. It's fucking crazy. But I really wanted to talk about this because these are absolutely devastating events that are affecting so many people's lives. And it's not fucking right. The response alone is not right. But unfortunately, I think there's a really sinister underlying meaning behind them. And it's crazy we live in a world like that. When I was younger and I was completely asleep to everything and, you know, just naive to the world, I would never fathom, you know, the knowledge that I have now and what's going on. It's insane to me. When you finally wake up to the BS, it's way worse than I could have ever imagined. It's like a fucking nightmare. But to anyone that was affected by these hurricanes and whatever else is to come, you have my deepest condolences. You have my deepest condolences. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I can't even imagine. And if there's anything that we as a community can do to help you, please drop a comment below and tell us. If anyone's, you know, experienced any of this, like, and if you feel comfortable sharing, please drop a comment. Please let us know you're well and I hope you're okay. I think losing material items is hard, but losing your loved ones, animals included, is something that's you can never get back, and it's the worst thing in the world. So my heart really goes out to you, and you know, we're all praying for you. I've been praying every single night. So you are in our hearts and you're in our prayers, and I hope you can get through this, and please let us know. I'm trying to look into places where people can donate to help. It's just hard to find legit ones that I actually know, like, the money's going where it's supposed to. So if I can find some, I'll try to link them in the description. But if anyone knows anywhere that is a reputable donation site or GoFundMe, please drop a comment with it. That'd be greatly appreciated. You know, we have to help each other out at the end of the fucking day. We're all we have. And that's just the way it is these days. Or probably, honestly, it's probably always been like that. But now we're awake and aware, so we gotta help each other out. But anyways, I just wanted to make this video because it's been heavy on my heart, and I really just wanted to get this message out there. And you know, it's very serious, and I just want people to just use critical thinking. You know, that's all we can do. You really think critically about these things and connect the dots, because oftentimes things are a lot sketchier than they appear, and this one already seems sketchy. And I will say that there are experts that were tracking Helene, and they said that the movement of the storm was not normal, and that maybe frequencies played a part in the movement of it. So there's a lot to think about. There's a lot to think about here. But anyways, please follow my Rumble. It's just Influencer Police, same as here. I can talk about a lot of more shit on there, but you know, all of you guys are here on YouTube, so it's hard for me to like not make a video for YouTube right now. But please follow us on Rumble, because we could talk about a lot more shit there. and I don't have to use fucking code words and shit like that. But yeah, I love you guys. I hope you guys are safe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Blessings, peace, and your inner prayers.